Your 2017 surprises, right?
Right.
How much of them are you still confident about? The S&P 500, right, hitting 2,500, the yield going up, the 10-year yield going up to 4%. Seeing what you've seen out of the White House, how confident are you about those projections?
Well, I would say that the first part of the year certainly started out strong, but then I think there's been a turn after the State of the Union address. I think that was the high point for a while. The recusal by Jeff Sessions, I think, was a setback. The accusation that Obama tapped the phones in Trump Tower was a setback. And the market was very full of itself up till that point. My feeling is that the 2,500 estimate was based on Trump getting his pro-growth agenda implemented. And the problem is he's spending so much time on first, he had to replace his national security advisor.
Right.
Now he has the Sessions recusal. Now he has to deal with this accusation that came out of mid-air, and he should really be working on legislation.
So bottom line is
I'm getting a little nervous about 2,500, but I'm not backing away from it.
You're not?
The 2,500 sticks.
Okay.
The 4%, I'm thinking we may not get there. There's too much liquidity sloshing around the world. U.S. interest rates are already a lot higher than Europe or Japan. So I think rates will maybe get to 3.5, but not to 4.
But what was the 4% based on?
4% was based on the economic growth going to 3%, the economy being stronger, creating more inflation. Inflation is a result of wages and house prices. I thought wages are already creeping up. House prices, I thought, would go up a little. So I thought there'd be enough inflation and enough demand for capital that rates would go to 4. But I think they will continue to rise. They'll get above 3, but they won't get to 4.
You know, we're only we're barely into the third month of 2017,
Right.
Byron. Is this the first time you've had to actually change your views on some of your surprises?
No. I never change the view. Those surprises stay there till the year end.
Okay.
No matter how humiliating.
But you have some doubts, perhaps.
You're right, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, you're probing, where do I have conviction and where don't I?
Yeah.
And I'm being honest with you. Where my heart is fluttering a little bit, I'm revealing it to you.
Byron, I noticed though when I look through, it's not just about the S&P or treasuries, but it was about a few other things you had put into the surprise index or your surprises of 2017 that show me that you seem you seemed at least, right, pretty bullish.
Absolutely. I definitely, I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't support him, but I thought his pro-growth agenda would be good for the economy and that would be good for the markets.
Do you still believe he's going to be able to get some of his policy initiatives through?
I definitely do, but he's got to, right now, he's got to start focusing on legislation. He's got to deal effectively with replacing the Affordable Care Act if he wants to repeal it. He's got to deal effectively with the 3 components of his pro-growth agenda: cutting taxes, dismantling regulation, and spending money on infrastructure. He's got to replace the Supreme Court justice.
Right.
He's got to get these things done.
Through.
Right. And he's got to stop worrying about whether Obama bugged the Trump Tower
and all, yeah.
And he's got to get a cabinet in place that stays in place.
What about the Fed? I know you had predicted before that the Fed's going to go 3 times this year. Does that still hold?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, no.
Yeah, well, now they've got, Trump is lucky. The economy is doing pretty well. Almost every parameter you look at, railcar loadings, initial unemployment claims, leading indicators, I can give you 10 of them. They show that the economy is headed toward 3% growth. All he has to do is give it a little push, but he has to get to work on it, or he campaigned on promising to make America great again. he's got to pass legislation to complete that promise. And if he doesn't get to work on it, it isn't going to happen.
You know, you also mentioned over in Europe that you believe, or one of the surprises is that by the end of the year, there may be some active discussions about ending the European Union.
More discussion than there is now.
Okay.
But I don't think it'll happen. I think I'm worried about both the French and the German elections. I'm less worried
You think
about
we'll see a
French.
Frexit? You think we'll see a Frexit?
No, I don't think we will. But I think, you know, if Le Pen wins, that would create more danger. She may win in the first round. I don't think she'll win in the second. I'm more worried about Angela Merkel. You know, I hope she wins because she's the putative leader of Europe.
But you see a real chance that she could lose her reelection.
I absolutely do. Populism put Donald Trump in office. Populism is sweeping Europe as well, and that endangers Angela Merkel.
Well, you know, speaking about populism, a big populist topic is targeting China, right? So, you know, I know you mentioned that you believed that the administration and Trump himself might moderate his views on China. Does anything that you've heard so far or seen make you believe this?
Yeah, I mean, I think Trump is going to, in a way, all of us are lucky that the travel ban was as severe as it was because he had to back down on it.
Okay.
And that taught him that
There's
he has
some
to
limits here?
He has to pay attention to the checks and balances that exist. He can't just, you know, all of us over 70, and I'm over 70. You know, we wake up in the middle of the night, we go to the bathroom, and we go back to bed. Not Donald Trump. He goes to the bathroom and he goes to his Twitter account, you know.
And wreaks havoc.
Right, exactly. You know, so he's got to stop doing that.